Here with Ohio Dominican head football coach Bill Conley as the Panthers get set to start the 2015 season. Coach, 2014, such a special year for the program, winning the first two playoff games, advancing to the regional final. What are some things that you were able to take away from that experience last year and help the program even further this season?
Well, I think the one thing we did a year ago, I think we really grew as a football team. We got better as the season went on, and of course, by the time we hit the playoff run there, we were playing our best football. So, we need for that to be a springboard, a starting point for us this year. So, we'll see as we get through August camp if that is indeed what is happening. And fortunately, we have enough players coming back that have been there and had that experience that hopefully they've learned and they have even stronger goals than they had a year ago.
When you look at that success that you had, and then to couple it with so many returning players, as you just mentioned, I mean, for you as a coach, where does that put your mindset in coming into this season? You have to be pretty excited to have that type of veteran experience coming back who was able to do so much before in the past, right?
Well, and the thing that makes you feel good are they're good kids. They're really good players, and they're good students in the classroom, and that makes it worthwhile. The thing about it, though, and if it was in any other conference in America except the GLIAC, you'd feel really, pretty good and pretty confident. But we know every week's a battle. Everybody you play has a chance of beating you, and there's many teams in the GLIAC that can win the conference every year, and this year is no exception. There's a lot of really good football players coming back.
Let's look on the defensive side of the ball. It's an area that Panthers have been very strong in the past. Last year seemed to take it to a different level. What was kind of the root behind that? What enabled them to have the kind of success they did? And what are your expectations from the unit this season?
Well, I think the biggest reason why we were pretty good was because, again, those guys have been there and they played together. Our entire secondary is coming back, as well as our defensive front. And our two defensive ends are very good football players in DeAndre Harrison and Cindy Omame. So, with the interior guys also, the tackles, Paul Wesselhoff and Hunter Maynard and Demetrius Farmer and Mason Sawicki, we have some guys there that, hopefully we can keep some fresh bodies on the field. That's what you have to do, in Division II football at that level. You have to be able to have enough bodies so that you can keep fresh guys in there, because some of our offenses are so explosive in the GLIAC. I mean, they can burn you on any play. So you have to have guys that can run and stay fresh.
Flipping over to the offensive side, you lose a guy in Mark Miller, obviously a very difficult challenge to replace that. A lot of other experience, though, back around the quarterback position. So what are your thoughts on the offense as you get into the preseason part of your schedule and training?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there by talking about the quarterback position. We have Grant Russell, who was our backup last year, but also Austin Ernst was a very good player for us. And then we have Thomas Weber, probably had the best spring of any of our quarterbacks. So we have really three guys that are fighting for that starting role right now. It's always a trigger man. That's the guy that catches, that touches the ball every play. And so that guy's got to be really good. So really how usually your quarterback goes is how the offense goes. And Mark Miller's a perfect example of that. When he played well, our offense played well, and so forth. And he's the guy really good as the season went on. So we're happy about that. Wide receivers, we have a couple good receivers back, of course, in Des Stewart, J.T. McFarland, also Casey Williams is back for another year. So we have some experience there. We're going to have to really rely on some young football players coming in, though, to be the third, fourth, fifth wide receiver in some of our sets. So we've really got to grow at that position. Offensive line is solid, but not near the depth we'd like to be. So again, some young guys are going to have to come in here and get the job done. Tight end position is pretty good for us with Jared Butler coming back, and also Aaron Stevens. So our top two guys are coming back there. But then in our tailback spot or our running back spot, Brandon Schoen, who's always had success and has had a good career if we can keep him healthy. Him along with Daryl Johnson, Aaron Everson, and guys like Isaiah Campbell. And then, of course, we had a transfer in Justin Davis that had some playing experience where he came from. So we had some chances to have some guys that can spell each other there. All in all, I think we got some good younger talent, stuff like that, in some of those positions, and some experience that molds well together.
One area that really excelled in the last couple of years, special teams. A couple of veteran guys back in Brent Wally and Michael Snyder as well that really helped lead those units.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, those two specialists are really good. Brent Wally is arguably one of the top, 2 to 3 kickers in America, any division. A really strong leg, has started for us for a long time, as has Mike Snyder. So those two guys are back. We have to be better, though, with our units. We have good specialists. Our snappers are good, our kickers are good, our punters are good, but we have to do better in some of our units. We were not near as good in 2014 as we were in 2013, and that is a major emphasis for our August camp.
Finally, as you get set to begin this season, you mentioned a little bit about the schedule, but again, where are the expectations for this team and this program as you get set for first week against Malone?
Well, the way that it's always been, one game at a time, one play at a time. We don't overlook anybody. You can't in this league or you're going to get beat. And we have some very tough games early. We have Grand Valley State early. We have Ashland early. We got to play well early and late, so you can't overlook anybody because there's a lot of good football players in the GLIAC.
Coach Conley, thank you very much for the time. Good luck this season.
Thanks, and go Panthers.